Kupang, the East Nusa Tenggara capital, boasts an unmissable coastal allure. The white sands of Timor Island's west coast and crystal clear waters near Semau Island creates an ideal environment for a thriving underwater ecosystem in Kupang. The CNN Indonesia team, in partnership with Konservasi Indonesia, explored Kupang's stunning underwater beauty. Our journey searching for exotic corals started from Tenau Harbor. BMKG's forecast of strong winds in early August cast uncertainty on all coral reef exploration plans in NTT. But as the ship set sail, the winds proved milder than BMKG predicted, and our journey continued. Executive Chair of Konservasi Indonesia, Mezani Irmadiani, is among 3 divers exploring Kupang's coral reefs. Clad in black and pink, Mbak May, as she's standardly called, beamed as her diving dream came true.
Nah, lokasi pertama ini akan ada di tengah-tengah teluk itu sendiri di antara Pulau Timor, Kota Kupang dengan Pulau Semau. Jadi kita mau lihat terumbu karang yang ada timbul di tengah-tengah itu kayak gimana bentuknya. So kita udah di jalan dari jam 6 pagi. Mudah-mudahan hari ini seru banget.
After a 20-minute sail, we eventually reached our first dive site. The divers donned their air tanks, adjusted their goggles, and over the prayer before plunging into the open sea. At precisely 7 o'clock WIDA, the diving commenced. About an hour after their dive, 2 Merkur balloons surfaced. It signaled the divers were about to surface. But the journey doesn't end here. The ship's team plans to search for another dive spot to further explore the coral reef ecosystem. The ship sailed on once more, and its next destination near Semau Island. Unlike the first dive sites, the waters near Semau are much clearer. The water here is so clear that the seabed and several coral reefs are visible from the boats without needing to look underwater. As at the first dive site, the team spent 1 hour exploring the second location. The divers emerged from the seabed with even happier expressions. Mezani shared her impressions of diving at 2 distinct sites in Kupang waters.
Kita udah diving di 2 tempat berbeda. Yang pertama itu kan lebih dekat ke kota ya tadi. Jadi beda banget sama kondisi karang dan bawah lautnya di tempat kedua. Walaupun jaraknya nggak terlalu jauhan, tapi kita pas diving di yang pertama ini memang dia kan kayak gundukan pasir, terus di situ ada karang-karang di bawah laut. kondisinya itu lebih terekspos sama arus, kalau ada juga kapal-kapal yang lewat. Jadi karang-karangnya sih sebenarnya lumayan, tapi dia nggak terlalu banyak. Ikan-ikannya juga kita masih bisa lihat schooling fish ya, ada unicorn fish, ada fusilie yang biasa kita temuin juga di pasar. Nah kalau di lokasi diving kedua ini beda banget. Jadi walaupun jaraknya berdekatan, di Pulau Semau ini dia lebih tetap kena arus karena ini masih di selat ya. Tapi karangnya bagus banget, jenisnya banyak. Tadi kita bisa lihat kayak yang fan, gorgonian, sponges, terus kondisi karangnya juga masih bagus, jenis karangnya banyak sekali. Jadi tempat diving kedua ini masih menunjukkan bahwa memang di daerah bahkan dekat sama kota Kupang sendiri tingkat ketahanan dari terumbu karang di sini masih sangat bagus sekali. Walaupun ada sedikit-sedikit di tempat dangkal kena sedikit bleaching, tapi nggak sama sekali sih, masih sehat banget. Jadi kita bisa lihat bahwa memang tempat-tempat ini tuh penting banget dilindungin, tapi bukan hanya dilindungin, pemanfaatan berkelanjutannya juga penting.
Despite its beautiful coral reefs, Kupang's marine ecosystem remains vulnerable to damage. From BKKPN Kupang, we learned that Hurricane Seroja in 2021 significantly damaged coral reefs in Kupang waters. It affects not only the marine ecosystem, but also life beyond the sea. Coastal communities reliant on seaweed cultivation may also face challenges from the damage. It feels incomplete discussing Kupang without mentioning seaweed farming. BPS data revealed seaweed production in Nusa Tenggara in 2020 reached an impressive 2.1 million tons. With such data, it's not a surprise that residents along Kupang's coastline choose to farm seaweed. Seaweed cultivations often features rows of plastic bottles extending 75 meters into the open sea. Residents use these plastic bottles as underwater houses for seaweed to grow. The CNN Indonesia team explored 3 sites where residents engage in seaweed cultivation. Near Namusain Beach, residents farm vibrant red seaweed classified as red algae. Local residents believe that this type of seaweed is harvested more quickly so that they can meet the demands of buyers. Meanwhile, residents at Tablolong and Usina beaches on Timor Island's west coast cultivate green seaweed. The harvest time for seaweed is relatively quick, just about 1.5 to 2 months. It makes seaweed farming an appealing choice for Kupang residents. On top of that, the high price of seaweed has also tempted many people to join the farm. From 2000 to 2008, East Nusa Tenggara seaweed farmers experienced a golden era, including those in Kupang. Farmers can earn up to 40 million rupiah from a single harvest. Imagine their annual earnings with 4 to 5 harvests. Unfortunately, the honeymoon ended quickly as seaweed prices plummeted. The 2009 Montara oil spill from a Thai company damaged seaweed productions, and the seaweed prices dropped from 20,000 to 10,000 rupiahs per kilogram. Despite efforts to recover from the spill, seaweed cultivation in Kupang has yet to regain its former glory. In some areas, seaweed quality has declined, and the farmers now challenged with ice disease. The disease causes white spots on the stems.
Kalau untuk penyakit itu biasa kita manusia saja harus dapat penyakit. Nah, tapi di penyakit itu datang pada bulan musiman. Kalau angin keras, ke bulan-bulan begini agar masih terlalu bagus. Nah.
Additionally, new regulations have caused seaweed prices to fluctuate. East Nusa Tenggara Governor's Regulation No. 39 of 2022 prohibits seaweed exports outside the region. It results in prices dropping to 13,000 to 15,000 rupiah per kilogram of seaweed. Considering this fact, Konservasi Indonesia believes its Nusa Tenggara, particularly Kupang, has immense potential for seaweed cultivation. Though it's not the largest producer, supply from East Nusa Tenggara can impact global markets. Konservasi Indonesia also notes that seaweed cultivation in Kupang is closely linked to the surrounding coral reef ecosystem. Mezani hopes the local government will preserve Kupang's marine ecosystem, protect coral reefs, and ensure high-quality seaweed cultivation for its residents.
Nah, kalau dari kita lihat misalnya contoh di Kupang ini sendiri, posisi masyarakat pesisir dan budidaya rumput laut itu berkaitan langsung dengan terumbu karang. Jadi yang kita lakukan itu sebenarnya pendekatannya adalah kita tahu ekosistem terumbu karang ini penting dan ekosistem terumbu karang di sekitar Nusa Tenggara Timur ini menjadi kawasan yang paling penting di dunia, bukan hanya di Indonesia. Jadi target utamanya sebenarnya bagaimana masyarakat pesisir maupun pemerintah di daerah sini juga bisa mengembangkan kawasan ini secara berkelanjutan. Jadi terumbu karang yang dijaga, tapi ada kegiatan ekonomi masyarakat yang berkaitan langsung dengan ekosistem terumbu karang ini sendiri.
Hopes for improving seaweed cultivation and preserving coral reefs in Kupang waters are even greater with the signing of depth-swapped cooperation agreement. The agreement in the field of environmental conservation was signed between the governments of Indonesia and the USA in early July.
Nah, kemarin kan kita udah melakukan depth-swap TFCCA ya, Tropical Forest Coral Reef Conservation Act. Depth-swap itu sendiri menjadi penting, kenapa? Karena di situ ada mekanisme mobilisasi pendanaan yang jauh lebih cepat. Jadi salah satu tantangan yang kita hadapi di pengelolaan kawasan konservasi atau di pemberdayaan masyarakat adalah kebutuhan dana yang cukup tinggi. Nah, mobilisasi dana yang akan dilakukan lewat depth-swap ini kita harapkan memang bisa membangun lebih besar lagi kondisi yang lebih baik untuk kawasan konservasi terumbu karang, baik itu di dalam kawasan konservasi maupun di luar kawasan konservasi. Dan juga bisa melakukan banyak lagi dukungan untuk sistem ekonomi yang berkelanjutan seperti rumput laut di sekitar sini. Karena itu depth-swap itu adanya nanti di bentang laut Sunda Kecil, di bentang laut Banda, dan juga di bentang laut Papua yang ada di Raja Ampat, Bomberai, Fak-Fak, dan yang lain.